Hello there, good morning, and a big welcome to the last super moon of the season. This is it. Super moon means the time that the moon is closer to the earth than any other time, and it looks enormous. I haven't actually had a chance to go out yet and have a look at it, bizarrely. I don't know why. But there it is, very, very close to us. And of course, the closer the moon, the bigger the effect. The closer the moon, the more we feel it. And I know a lot of people have been really feeling the effects of this supermoon. For me, fortunately, it's been quite gentle so far. Good morning, Andrea. Thank you for joining me here. But yeah, so some people have had an absolute roller coaster, and I think what it's doing for a lot of people, and the whole ascension journey for me as well, is you reach this wonderful high and you go, oh, it's fantastic, isn't it lovely, what a great day, and then suddenly we drop out and we drop back into 3D, and the tumble, the fall back is so hard. When you get used to sort of the energy of the higher energies of whichever dimension it is, we think, oh, this is life, I've arrived, this is so beautiful. And then when we fall out, there's just this massive crash. And it's horrid. So, it's difficult. And then we get angry. Oh, excuse me, my voice going. Since the Lion's Gate, lots of us have had difficulties clearing our throats. I think there's a lot of clearing coming through. Good morning, Sasa. But yeah, so the where was I have no idea. So yeah, that was it. So this drop out from high energy back down into lower energies, it feels so tough. It's like diving into the coldest water when you've been in this wonderful, warm, loving environment, and suddenly it's like bang, there you are in cold water, and we can feel really grumpy, really shocked, I think. But it's okay, because nobody expects us in this ascension journey to kind of reach 5D and then go, yay, that's it, you've made it, you're here, you'll never drop out again, because we will drop out. Because the world is constantly bombarding us with more crap, with yet more clearing of our own stuff. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot going on. So if you're feeling a bit wibbly wobbly, feeling a bit angry, it's okay. It's all fine. And, moons will do this to us. And as I say, supermoons are even stronger. But the first thing I want to say in introduction is, if you enjoy these events, please do make sure that you are following my page, Step Into the Light, because you'll get notified about all the events in case I forget to share something. And if you enjoy the event and you would like to give a donation, you can do. Again, that's on the event page right at the bottom. No pressure, only if you choose. So, excuse me, I've got my tissue. I've had to shut the window because our neighbour's doing some sanding, and I thought, well, the choice is either sit here and look really hot or you get sanding noise, and I figure that me looking a bit warm is a far better choice. So here we go. The supermoon in Aquarius. And as I was looking this up, because I'm not an astrologer, there was so much written about it. This supermoon is just bringing up such an incredible, diverse range of challenges, of emotions, everything. Lorraine, hello Lorraine. I'm here but listening with my eyes closed, headache, but I'm here. Keep your eyes closed, it's the best way. Seriously, I'm the same as you. If I have a headache, I just want to lie down with eyes shut, so just take it easy, and sending you loads of love. Yeah, so there was this whole diverse range of emotions and challenges that were being brought up, and I looked and I thought, well, what's the moon telling me? What do I resonate with? And I didn't resonate with the karma clearing, all this. What I resonated with was the gratitude, because the sturgeon full moon is the time when traditionally we go out and we catch the sturgeon. the time when, when we are harvesting from this beautiful earth, and we have lost this connection. I don't know if you know, but across Europe, across the world, the farmers are protesting because they're worried that these mega farms are going to take over the land, and the mega farms don't have the same history, the same relationship with the land that the small farmers do. And so there are mass protests going on all over the place because an old farmer, they have a relationship with the land, they have a relationship with their animals, that it's a part of their life. They understand the cycles of birth and death and so on. And what happens to us when we've lived in our cities, when we've come away from the land, is that we lose this. I was shocked, I think, ages ago when they asked a whole bunch of children in London, and they said, where do you think this meal comes from? And they were eating a beef burger. I think they call them hamburgers in America. And these children didn't know that this beef burger came from a cow. And you think, how divorced have we become from nature? How separated from this incredibly beautiful, abundant land, that we don't actually know where our food comes from. And I found that so heartbreaking. I remember the first time I saw a pig, a full-size pig, not these little ones. I'd cuddled those, it was all lovely, but I was with my mum in Germany, and we went to an old farm, and these pigs were the size of small cars. I'd never seen such an enormous pig, and my mum, she looked sad, and she went, what have I taught my children? They don't even know what size a pig is. And I know what size a pig is, but I was fairly young. I hadn't seen just this vast size, and we have lost this beautiful, beautiful connection. I watch my mum, who grew up on a farm, and she goes out in the fields, and she goes, oh yes, this leaf, you can eat that, that's quite bitter, and this flower, that's quite sweet, and you can eat that, and this one that sticks to your clothing. She knew, because she spent her childhood out in the fields with nature. And part of what has happened to us, and that I want to talk about today, is how we have lost our nature. And as I sat down here and I was writing notes about, who wanted to come through, who wanted to help with this broadcast, and I just felt the elementals come in so strongly. These amazing energies that run through everything across our entire world. Anything you pick up, anything that you touch, these crystals here that I'm holding, they are made of the basic elements of life. We are made of the basic elements of life, and all these elements have characters, have a nature to them. They are all living. And it was so interesting because they said to me, we are the living beings. Call in the living beings. We think of this crystal as being dead. It's not. It is alive. It's full of living beings. And they said that they don't just want us to work with Mother Nature. They want us to work with our own true nature. Who are we? Do we spend our entire life on our telephone, never engaging with people? No, because this is not who we are. This is not who we were meant to be. Are we supposed to sit in an office chair all day, alone, at home? No, we weren't. We were meant to meet people, to walk, to move, to go into nature, to do all these things. And we have lost so much of our own inherent nature, of who we are, of what we can do, and of how we engage with this beautiful world. And these living beings wanted to come down and talk about this and say, how do we restore the truth of who we are? How do we restore this beautiful living nature that exists inside of us? That was a great question. And it's something I want you to ask yourself. How do you restore the divine nature of who you are? What have you cast aside in your life that you would love to bring back in because it felt natural to you, it felt right to you, but perhaps you gave it up when you grew up. Perhaps somebody said to you that this is not how you should be in life, and actually it felt the right way. When I was a kid, sorry, I'm hot face again. When I was a kid, my sister decided that she wanted to have an animal graveyard, and any sort of dead animals that she found, she'd bury them there. And I thought it was a lovely thing to do, but I remember she tried to scare me. And she's like, don't tread on the graves, don't do this, you know, it's all spooky here. And for a moment I went, oh, it's scary because they're dead. And then my own innate nature rose and said, I'm not scared. Actually, I'm not even sad. I'm not sad because these animals have gone on to a better place. They have gone back into the universe, back into energy. Somehow I knew this. And then a couple of years later, I went to my first funeral. Everybody was sad. And all I wanted to do was laugh because I looked at the grave and I went, there's nothing in there. It's just a body. But I was taught that I had to be sad. Wasn't allowed to be joyful at a funeral. Wasn't allowed to say, oh, it's wonderful. This person has gone back into, you know, a glorious, fluid, divine state. And it took me a long time to say, yes, there is grief when someone or something dies. But inherently, my nature says to me, they are happy. And this is something I will always hold on to in myself because it is a part of my nature. And so this is what I want you to ask yourself is, what have you given up? What have you been taught to give up that was a natural part of who you are, of how you thought, of how you reacted? That society said you can't have that, you can't do that. And I want you to bring it back in if it suits you, if it fits with you. This is what the elementals talked about, was finding our own true nature once again. And it's time, because when we find our own true nature, then we work well with Mother Nature. We work well with the rhythms of life. So it's really important to be true to ourselves because we come from nature. We're going back to nature. We are nature right now. So let's not fight it. So, we're on that little tangent going off. Where were we? I can't speak. Where were we? Right, so the sturgeon full moon. Gratitude. This is also a natural part of who we are. And how do we get things done? How do we push forward? How do we get more in life? We do it by being grateful for what it is that we have. You know, people always talk about manifestation. How do they manifest more? I have nothing in life. How do I manifest something? Well, I tell you what's happened is that when you say, I have nothing, I want more, what does the universe hear? It doesn't hear your request for more. What the universe hears, what you get back, is the fact that you are sitting there saying, I have nothing. So that's actually the resonation that you're putting out there is, I have nothing. So what do you get back? You guessed it, absolutely nothing. But when we live in gratitude, when we are in touch with all that we have, all the blessings that we have, all that this divine Mother Nature has given us, when we feel that rich, then what do we get back? What do we receive back? We manifest more for ourselves. To live in gratitude is not, it's not just a simple stating, oh, thank you very much for my dinner, thank you, that was lovely. Gratitude is something that really wants to vibrate in the whole being, in all of us. It wants to belong to every single part of who we are. Let me just read that. Kate, good morning, Christina. Good morning to you too. Beautifully put. I feel exactly the same. I lost my wonderful dad last year. Oh, I'm sorry. And despite the grief, I look for the blessing and the happiness, not the sadness. Let me just click see more without doing anything. Did you live in Germany? I want to be. No, I didn't. I grew up here. My mum is from North Germany, but I grew up here. But I do love Germany. North Germany, for me, is just so beautiful. But yeah, it's exactly, we don't have to grieve because somebody else is telling us to grieve. We grieve in our way. We find joy in our way. So yeah, getting back to the gratitude, we are grateful just for this life. We need to learn gratitude just for the very fact of being alive. Because I know life is tough for a lot of people. I know it is. And there's no denying that in this 3D world, there is a lot of cruelty and a lot of struggle in this life. And sometimes people will say, why was I ever born? Why am I here? And it's putting aside the fact that we have this incredible body, that we are blessed with this astonishing chance to discover, to grow, to become so much more than we think we are. And without this physical body, we wouldn't be able to do that. The opportunities that come with this physical body are extraordinary. And we forget about this. We take it for granted. We assume every day it's just going to carry on. And then we wonder, oh, why did I get ill? Because we neglected to really take care of ourselves. We neglected to treasure what it is that we have in here. The human body is so complicated. It's so extraordinary. And to think that the universe mucked something up by creating this divine vessel for our soul. No, it never mucked up. Everything is in perfect order, and all we have to do is appreciate this. I mean, some days just put your hand on your heart and say thank you. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this incredible brain that allows me to think and question. And for my eyes and my voice and my hands. Just a simple gratitude for being alive is so, so important. It's so powerful as well. And then we can look at the world and we can start thinking, thank you for my shelter. Thank you for the fruits that this tree gives me. We go to supermarkets to buy our food. I can walk around my mum's garden and I can just pick blackberries off her bushes. It's lovely. She has a great big apple tree and I can just go and pick an apple. I don't need to go to a supermarket to have that. And we've become so conditioned to think that our food comes from the supermarket. It doesn't. Our food comes from farms. It comes from nature. It comes from this soil that we are standing on. This is where everything comes from. The sunshine, the rain, all of this comes from the universe. When we start looking at the bigger picture and rather than just this, oh, I turn the tap on and that's where water comes from. No, it all comes from nature. Everything comes from this beautiful, incredible, divine nature. And let's start appreciating it. Let's start giving gratitude for everything that we've got and everything that we are. Real gratitude. And when we feel gratitude, then we can begin to claim our abundance. Then we can begin to manifest what it is that really sits in our heart. And this again is so, so important. I read this beautiful thing yesterday. I can't remember where it was. So it was basically about, very often we dream of things that actually we don't really want. Things that just aren't important to us. And then we sit there and we say, well, I didn't get it. I never get anything. But when we actually listen to ourselves and we listen to the desire of our soul, then when we put that out there and we connect with the universe, with what it is that our soul really wants, then it matches our soul's intention and then it can become manifest. So if we continue to ask for things that just are not part of our soul journey, are not part of who we really are, then we end up just living in struggle, complaining that we never get anything. Whereas when we actually listen to the soul's desire, and that connects with the soul's intention, the reason for coming here, then it happens easily. And for some people, their soul's intention was to come down here and be very, very rich financially because in their past lives they were incredibly poor. For others, it's to be incredibly spiritual and to cast aside any material goods. You know, we all have these different goals and we mustn't compare ourselves to everybody else. But this again is part of being grateful. Part of being grateful for the individual that I am, for what I have, for what I can do. Longing to be somebody else, longing to have what other people want, it doesn't bring us happiness. It just creates a block of us stepping onto our real soul's path and the reason for our soul coming here and the work that it has to do. So be grateful for you and who you are in every way. Because we're perfect, we're absolutely perfect for our soul's intention in this lifetime. There's no mistaking that. You are absolutely perfect for your role in this ascension journey. And that's not easy to grasp all the time because I have moments where I think, I wish I could do this. Oh, I long to be able to do that. And where does it get me? Absolutely nowhere. But when I come back and I center in myself and I say, I am so grateful for who I am and what I can do, then my path becomes clearer. So don't waste time. Listen to you. Now, the other thing that came in with this full moon was grace. And what do we think of when we think of grace? Well, I'll tell you what people thought of when I was a kid. I was a very clumsy child. And so I was sent to ballet when I was 4. Because I was just clumsy. That was me. This is not grace. Grace is not being able to move smoothly. Grace is actually a gift from God. I wrote somewhere what it was that I read. Hang on. Can I find it? Oh yes, this was it. So I looked up the Bible definition of grace, which I thought worked really well. Graciousness, grace, is the love of God given to those who are unlovely. Now, unlovely, what a dreadful word. But when we look at the gift of God, the love of God, the love of the universe, what happens to people when you give them love? Pure, unconditional love. What happens to them? What happens is that their pains soothe. They no longer throw their traumas at everybody else. They don't have to become as angry as they were because love becomes the soother. Love turns them from, I don't know, I'm being given an image of the Tasmanian devil, you know, the cartoon, all crazy and spiky. It turns them from this into somebody at peace within themselves, somebody calm, someone who suddenly can flow with life. This is what grace does. It allows us to flow with the beautiful rhythms of life and of nature. It sort of greases the path so that we can just slide down it. You know, it's quite beautiful. It turns us from, I'm going to use the term, a wild child into somebody who can just, somebody who spreads light everywhere. You know, I'm thinking of myself here because I never looked chic. And I imagine it that way, going from frizzy curly hair into this beautiful straight sleek hair. because I've never had that. But this is my image of grace. Sorry. But you know what I mean? Love smooths the pathway. Love smooths our traumas. Love smooths our communication. When we don't know what to say to people, when we don't know what words to give, just give love. Just speak, just open your heart and let the words of love flow, because they will never be wrong. Because when you speak with love, energy comes with it too. And words, yeah, sure, words can be clumsy sometimes, but love is never clumsy. So this is what grace is. It is allowing the love of the universe to flow down into us, to soothe and smooth our journey. And it doesn't mean it'll never be rough. It just means that when it is rough, we have the ability to smooth things once again. So, as I wrote, it turns us from jangled and sharp into smooth and living with ease. And then they said to me, I love this, it means that we flow with the rivers of love that flow across the world. I thought that was gorgeous. So I know we're going to be using or talking with the elementals in light language. And I think also Gaia is going to turn up, but we shall see. In the meantime, let's have a look at some cards. So I've chosen one of my favourite packs. Let me get the box. Beyond Lemuria. I love them. I just love everything about them. And the first card I've chosen is called New Blueprints. And what this asks us to do is to be so much light that we create a ripple of light around the world. To be love, so that our love spreads out across the world. To be grace, so again, this spreads. To be compassion. And we don't have to reach the entire world. If we can hold enough love, grace and gratitude within ourselves that we reach one person, you've done an incredible job. We underestimate the impact that we have, hugely. But you don't need to worry about what impact you're going to have. There is always an impact. Just hold as much love and light as you can, and the rest will just happen. Let it be. Now the second card, Stepping Through. I love this. No more excuses. That's what came with this. No more excuses. Everything is there for you. Everything is right there, ready for you to reach out and grab it. Like I said earlier, follow your heart. Follow the interests of your heart. Because this is how your manifestation will happen. This is how you will build the life that you dream of. And we don't need to feel ashamed of the life that we dream of. We don't need to feel guilty for it. We don't need to compare ourselves to someone else's wealth. You can have as much of what you want in this life as you desire. You can. Put aside the human rules. Put aside the shame, the guilt that we have been taught to carry in having desires. We're not here to be small. We're here to be enormous. We're here to be so big and to shine. So don't make excuses for yourself. Just go and get what you want. Dream it, see it, feel it. Put it in your heart and then give it to the universe and allow it to come back to you. Because it will, if you allow it in. And the third card, the seat, what's it called? The Earth Star Chakra. Okay, beautiful image. This is the seat of creation. It is way down into the earth. And I find it quite funny imagining us all walking on the earth with this beautiful connection meters down into it. And it moves with us as we go. But it does. And anchoring here is so important. You know, we are constantly evolving energetically. We are connecting higher and higher into the realms. We are ascending. We are moving upwards. We are opening up these upper chakras. But every time we do that, we have to anchor ourselves also down into the earth. Because we can't just be way up here. We have to be down here because we chose a human life. We are here as a human existence. And we expand both ways. We expand down into the earth and we expand upwards. And then we create balance. And then we can reach other people and we can help them expand into who we are. So don't think earth is bad. Earth is beautiful. The elements are beautiful. The elementals are beautiful. Mother Nature is beautiful. And I know sometimes we don't want to anchor ourselves here. I know this. Because we see the world and we see cruelty and harshness. But when you anchor yourself here, you begin to feel the beauty of this world. And when you feel it, you see it, you engage with it. So don't be frightened of this world. Be here with us. Be here and help us create peace, a paradise. But we have to be here in order to do that. So bring your energy down. Bring your compassion, your grace, your love, your spirituality. Bring it down. And don't leave Mother Earth barren. Bring your love to her. And when we all love her, then she will rise into the most incredible light and she will ascend with us. We are one. Be here. So, enough talking from the elementals in English. Oh, still so warm. Now, I want you to get yourselves comfy. Relax. Whenever we listen to light language, we just relax. Don't listen. Just hear. Okay? Do nothing. And take a lovely breath in and breathe out. And all of us are going to call on the elementals. We are all going to call on Gaia, call on our mother. Ask her to rise. Ask her to talk, to bring her blessed energy to us. Manino jara makabadin me wakaluka imar pada prakushkvitsitia taramoja janyazi maravade borokamrakishkiese taruzukusuita mashakavara nodajna matimia taramashvarajinia vai kukara taruzukuzi sandia tararo turebe tukeshik miatrosh suete la rejinia dai dirak mikaro no karasin tarususke darmar mania dinio dudish kumaraza maratora seziki witiki potorasha marata jniazi tarusukukai kadashkisia shamara yinia tarabushkis wesinia zvareton moshka sayitramishkovsiniosa taruzuske taramajania jayina kara torandajki Narusuzeka erejike maralundara zimisikera. Turaja sabiero. Tatata zukukai namraja vasinia savaradera brushke swaside de jaya. Naruzu dormararima. Adrujushkushi. Sataramutor brotora datania de brike vorakari taraki horara yetomrojike. Sadani jajimioda rashiskia. Saurondora. Sadidikero comarazeta. Iske isayamor. Tarumua gemayador shisibasiner vaja. Tarundora. Ederish sit. Adorno zari aniara imura darishki. Adania, Adarajiki, Orki, or Rajwada, Taruzuskis, Sama, or Darija, Tamo Darajiki, Shusha Yamorazas in Yatarashi, Amaro, Notarsi, Kawaii Moraja, Natorojuski, and Narabasia, Tariziza Camara. Mother Earth says we must stop believing those who tell us that we are parasites here on Earth. She says, no, you are my children. And this, the whole of Earth is it is your garden, it is your farmland, it is, I'm here for you, she says. All my abundance is yours. Maratisiski morakaraji, Tataremajuasa, Datamiotopashe, Sutaker, Takimada Madaina, Numaravi, Numaravi, Podokrapiataraki, to the Detenia Marasi, Tajki, Marazo, Sudarisi, Pakiamo, Hakimia Dorojma, Baritoroshiski, Sadushi, Jukishi, Sutarkashi, Katarashki, Sumata, Tayi Dederish, Madi Mordeti Dimota, Durati Tishku, Shikaparatashika, Sati. Pariziki darusha zanyadarshi, a modarjazia dariji kimokaras in Narazieta, Tanunukurka, Temo Ayanyama Yamura Yimurari Roshka skin darashi, Santaranio Dara Zatrika, Nazuzar Natimie de Kurkin, that Karikuto Damashikimara, Sizikuma Kawati Kissim Yasari Tarakishke, Sinyata, Hanyam Hawaradi Mora. But there is Kushki Sanya Tarita, Tanmodarish Hasigia, Kadovski, Katamari, Dudakatutorish, Casimeta Kushkis, Matachiska, some Dudarskima, Tarisquasia, Rarjinia Rojo, Tadiania Brushisku, Shinia Sewaita, Maruno Rensi, Nakabiata Roshka, Sayatarabi, Tamushkisia, Sarida Rojo, Warren Datashkisnia Dorshi, Tamoja, Sayatarashin Nakarasi, Tamoja, what did the Rushkis are? Turishi, Mora Darishki, Marinia Ziara. And we have to begin to once again flow with the rhythms of the earth. We have stepped away from the cycles of nature, of beauty, of life so much. We need to get back into rhythm with all these cycles and not poison the earth. We have poisoned so much of the earth, but she says that this is through the man's desire to control her. This is what has poisoned the earth. It is the idea that we are above her. This is, when we have manipulated nature. This is what upsets her. Because she is so perfect in all that she does. Marasuma Karakin Karesha, where dear not Maradorskisa, Samarin the Niasiara, a Maradishkiswa, to Murshisia, Daramadi Dirko, Maraji, Kamada Dorskisamara, Tarijik Masuya, Doramatisi, say Yadarmaje, Nakimo, Hadiruskushi, Shua Daramaja, Signare, Dorokobaraka, Rishika Madara, Azizigi Yamrokosi, Termaswitzinia, our Tabarskis, you see. Hasikia, Azoar Natarabi, Tamadoroshkis Baratin, the Dietrikis, Amia Rujimara, Sevadajishkivsika Baradaka, Yodorba, Marseilla. She asks where the fruits and the bounties that she gave all of us, to all of us, were they not enough? Marushki Sadabarieta Mushka Zavarasi, Amora Natadishki, Samarishguji Karasa, Tarajizgo to Karamian Rusha, Savarana Dadishki, Amora Natasira Kikia, Tamajuari Darabishki, Maradishkushi Narashi, Amasik, Radarishi, Madurmoza Ziniarazi, Madakaroshki, Samura Sinyasa. She asks, she said that there is enough here for everybody, but she understands greed, but it is the intense greed of a few people that has taken from everyone, and we are all meant to be equal. We are all meant to be equal across the earth, enjoying all the bounties that she has to offer. Marajumasiera ketarishku, Tazurajika, Madiro Barganova Yetarashi, Samaravno Darza, Atarishquasi, Matarishquasi, Miorosha, and Navaritora Kobakiaras, Taramitsiki, Darashiswaja, Nari, Motarama, the Westiavara, the Bracotaka, Gadarishki, when Yoshushkesa, and Yetarmushkasa, Tarisiskia, Tomazua Dara, Motarisi, Zikia, Susora Baronet, Karakivarashki, the Yotorso. to. Mazuke, Matarji Mari Taramashitskia. Matarski Kokasin, Yasavari Tarashuskia, Arasi, Mataru, Dorama, Yinerji, who carries Caramara Joto, but there is kisses me at Roshasa, Tarasuskuada, Narabella Demogo, Harakara, Dotoshemes, when she should arrange Zandani Maratoshesia, said that Tarki, Tamara Josha Shikemara, Paracotoraka, Termosusinio Karazi, Teres, Hatamata, Damorashima, Shasha, you were a Karaki, Tarashi, Tatuscosa, as Yosasa, make the Rojosinia, Sakarabin, Rojosa, Yataraba, Otara, as the Zik murder, so Hanna Jishko, Dadina, Metarama, I Mara. But she knows that our love, the love that is rising now in the light workers across the world, she knows that this will allow love to spread across the world and that all will once again in time be fed with love and will once again be in touch with Gaia. Matarishinja sawarite mokosi kike katanamashawasanya ayerte tizozozika matarshisa samaraona aderezimski adermajujujushkasa taramazinia odarashki Masuzara takirajika tarisiska ma taramukwesinia sarisiska sarizinia kaso otara hataramieto chkowashkiatrash sumaradezi hamiatroma tadishke. But this Yushkasiania, Tami Wati, Tamiatro, Tanyata, Tinyosko, Tanyapa. But Tusasi, Dersi, Pakarakata, Tamua, Dijka, Marasincha Skita, Adioshko. But Rushiska Rezike, Tarmiska Dayoko, Tarijkoma, Tarizuzkaskia. But a sheet of Jumia, but it did Bushkiskia, Tadima, Tarizikemasko, Kara Sindatachki, so Darish Akara Simasa, Mutarja Dadiskera, Matsukasia. Tell me now, we think of Earth as being Earth. But you know what Earth is? Earth is a planet. Earth is a planet in the solar system. Earth is... We look at the planets out there and we think they are extraordinary. But we live on one. It's just don't forget that we live on this planet that sits in this vast solar system, in this vast galaxy. And when we forget that, we look at Earth as just being this little thing. But it's not. It's an extraordinary planet. It is as beautiful, as incredible, as extraordinary as Pluto, Venus, as anything out there. And when you look at those pictures that come through of other planets and we go, wow, that's amazing. They ask, have you never looked at your own planet and realised that it is extraordinary? Have we never done that? Not really. Masha tarakasika taza musira dimyara rogwetiko ta Georgia marawashiu okisika ekusaka edorishes miasana nanejetsiana nakabete kokarasi tajushkoshika tarazoma hasikarasi matinyachakasha. And she reminds us that us too, we are travellers. We have come from so far. We have come through dimensions. We think of ourselves as just being little humans, little earth people. And we're not. We are multi-dimensional, eternal star travellers. And it is this magic, this vision of how big we are that she wants us to hold on to. That she wants us to recognise in ourselves and to expand our vision into all that we truly are. And this is how we move forward. And that was a very, very different message today. I tried. I hope I managed to put across what she was saying to me. But the feelings are sometimes so so difficult to actually translate into English. But I think the most important thing for us is to know how much more we are, and to bring love, real love, into this world, and to step past. She gets so upset by all this division, all this hatred of one another, by one person trying to claim that they own and have a right to a part of this earth more than somebody else. This inequality she doesn't want. The earth will always recover, she tells me. It will always blossom, because she is so strong and so powerful that we do not need to worry about the earth. All she wants us to do is be loving to each other, because this is the energy upon which she feeds. She feeds on our love for her and on our love for each other. And this is why love is the key. So in all this division that is being pushed right now, are you with BLM, against BLM? Are you vaccinated, unvaccinated? Are you know, I can't think, but all these things that are just done to divide us, we must step past them all and recognise that every single one of us has an equal right to the wealth of our own soul and to what our own soul desires. And we all have that right. And she wants you to acknowledge that within yourself and know that this is your birthright. It's all here. And all we have to do is acknowledge it, accept it, and allow it to be created in partnership with us and with Earth. So yeah, she's feisty today. So Laura, Kate, thank you for being here with me and for your messages. Lorraine, I hope your headache goes. And to anybody else who is here who I can't see, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you enjoyed that unusual but powerful and loving message. And I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Remember, gratitude. Gratitude is key. And allow the love of God, of the universe, of all these living beings, oh, sorry, the door swung, to come down into you and walk with you throughout your days. And I will try the same. And I look forward so much to seeing you again soon. Many, many light blessings to you all. Bye-bye.